afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Great to see such a fabulous crowd for the wonderful Matt Stone. We at Miele are delighted to have Matt here to demonstrate for us today. Matt was approached at the very tender age of 22 to join Greenhouse as the executive chef. So without further ado, I'd love to hand you over to Matt, who's going to wow with some fantastic food.
Cool, thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Hi guys, so in short, the Greenhouse is a restaurant built from 100% recycled or recyclable materials, and we try to keep the same ethos through the day-to-day running of the business by trying to minimise food miles, minimise the waste that comes with the food. So things like sparkling water comes in kegs, wine in kegs, so we don't have to deal with bottle wastage and stuff like that. Earlier in the year, we opened a cafe called Silo here in Melbourne, which is 100% waste-free. It's been a big feat getting to that point, but we've kicked it off and it's going really well. And so we're going to try to extend that model, and eventually the goal is that the greenhouse in Perth and future greenhouses will be waste-free. It's no easy feat by any means, but we're getting there slowly. So today I'm going to do a dessert first, just so we can get that cooking and happening, and then we'll come back to this stuff. So it's a steamed banana pudding. So we've got the awesome steam ovens that Miele have. It's really easy to do. If you don't have the steam oven, it can be done on a Chinese bamboo steamer over a pot of water, but this is just really easy. So
do you have steamers in the restaurants, Matt?
We don't at the moment. We just use on the induction top. We put a Chinese one. Yeah. Okay, so it's a banana pudding. So with the bananas onto a tray into a hot oven about 180 degrees, and roast them till the skins go really black, and all the flesh will become really tender and sort of pureed. So once you've cooked them about sort of 10 minutes, you scrape the flesh out and you end up with sort of a banana puree. I find by roasting them, it just sort of caramelizes the sugar a little bit, so it becomes nice and sweet and almost takes a candy-ish sort of flavour. So to kick off this pudding, it's simply cream, butter and sugar together. I'll just show you this. So when you're creaming butter and sugar, you really want to get it nice and white. Obviously the butter's yellow, and just beat it with a paddle in the Kenwood. You can do it by hand, but it's a lot of work. And you want the sugar to dissolve into the butter, so it's nice and white and fluffy. Once you achieve that stage, it's just a matter of cracking one egg into the mix at a time and just sort of working that in. So I'm going to start cracking those eggs in there for me.
Yep, cool. Going for you.
Once the scraper. You can have that one back. Once the eggs are incorporated into the pudding mix, it's just as simple as putting in some flour, some baking powder, and then folding through the banana puree. So this is if you've got people who have just popped over, for coffee or, in the evening for dinner, this recipe can be put together really quickly, really simply, and it achieves a really nice result. You get a really light, fluffy pudding out of it. You can do substitute bananas for oranges or mandarins. You just need to boil them in the skins, the whole bit of the fruit, puree it and fold it through. So it's a really versatile one. So the recipe is up on the Miele website. So it's sort of the pudding is the base, and you can put any sort of fruit through it. It's just it's nice and simple.
So it's a bit of a twist on the old sticky date pudding.
Yeah, it's very similar. Yeah, it's just a little bit different. To serve with that today, we've got a little caramel sauce. So a bit of burnt sugar, a bit of butter, and a bit of brandy. Really simple. This can be made well in advance. It'll keep in the fridge for 2-3 weeks. Not a problem. So there's that pudding mix. As you can see, it's really sort of light and fluffy-ish, which is by taking the time to cream the butter and sugar together properly and do the eggs, it just goes really nice and light. So when that hits the steam oven, they'll rise really nicely and it'll be really fluffy. We're being cautious not to be too heavy-handed because you will knock a lot of the air out of it. So just nice and light. With these puddings, we'll just put a little cover over the top when they're steaming. So again, these puddings really simple. We're just going to put it in a bowl. We've warmed this sauce on top. Some roasted peanuts might be nice to finish it if you're fancy. Again, I've just left this one really simple just to show how how easily it can be put together at home.
And how did you make the caramel sauce?
So this caramel sauce, just caster sugar in the pan. On a sort of medium heat. Again, the induction's awesome for cooking doing any sugar work because you don't have the heat coming up the sides. It's on the bottom, so it won't burn and it'll cook really evenly. So we get a lovely sort of golden sort of colour in the sugar. By caramelising that sugar, you get that lovely bitter toffee flavour. So as you can see, it's really sort of thick and really gooey. That's awesome.
So when you melted the sugar, did you actually colour it at that stage before you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you need to get
it to a colour.
Yeah, you need to get the sugar caramelised before you add anything else. As soon as you add the booze, the sugar won't caramelise then until you've cooked all of that once you're out of it again. So yeah, you just want to get that nice colour at the start.
And then what do you do with the bananas? Do you finish those off to serve?
Yeah, and just to finish it, because we roasted the bananas in the pudding, like I mentioned, they've got that sort of candy-ish sweetness to them. So there's a nice contrast, and again, a contrast of texture. We're just going to slice some fresh bananas to put in there. So I'm just going to cut these into little rounds, nothing too...
And I'll get a bowl ready to serve.
And what I might do, in fact, is I'll just chuck these bananas into the sauce. They won't cook, but they'll soften slightly and the fresh flavour will sort of go into the sauce. Banana's one of those things that I don't really like to eat a raw banana. I'm not sure the texture's a bit odd for me and it's a bit weird, but I really like the flavour, so any way you can get it into a dessert or into a dish is great.
But I think those puddings might be just about done.
Yeah, let's have a look.
So let's have a look. We'll at least get one out that we can serve.
Yeah, I'll just serve a couple now.
There we go.
Oops, so that one wasn't quite greased up enough.
Of course, ideally they should be rested a little bit. Once you get them out, allow that dish to cool. But we're running a little bit shorter of time, so poor Matt is having to... yeah, there's your wonderful palette knife.
Oh, beauty.
Your favourite. I'll get rid of that one for you. Just don't blame the mixer if they don't turn out quite right.
Okay, so really simple. Obviously, we've done little ones for everyone to taste, but you just whack your pudding in the middle, get this lovely banana sort of caramel, a few nice slices of banana.
Wow, that looks amazing.
And, really, really simple to prepare at home.
Fantastic. I'd like to thank Matt very much. We've absolutely loved hearing all those little tips and seeing you cook today. So thank you so much for coming.
No worries.
And we've also got Matt on twice tomorrow, so we'd love to come back and see you tomorrow. And thank you all for coming. We really hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks guys for being patient. Listen to me talk about lots of stuff while we're meant to be cooking, but thanks everyone for coming down today. Thanks to the fabulous team here at Miller, and thanks Grand Designs Live Australia. Cheers.
Excellent.